Hey, what's going on, my friend? This is Paul Hutchings. Hope you're having an awesome day. In this video, I want to share something that could be very, very valuable to you on your freedom journey. And the title of the email and this video is these two emails brought in $4,200 in revenue yesterday. I actually wrote these two emails, sent them out, and we made $4,200 in sales. And what's really exciting for me is that in our company, when we bring in $4,200 in sales, because we pay 80% commissions, that means we helped people, affiliates, earn $3,360 in commissions in their pockets that wouldn't have been there had we not decided to write these two emails. And so in this video, what I want to do is I want to show you these two emails, and then as I'm showing you these two emails, I want to point out maybe just a few principles that we applied in this email that hopefully you can take away and apply in your marketing to get more success marketing those great products and services that you're out there delivering to the marketplace. And also, as a bonus in this video, I did also want to share just a quick little story. You know, we're going into December, Christmas time, and my wife read a story to my kids and I last night that really touched my heart, and I wanted to pass it along. So I'm going to share that here at the end of this video. But first, let's go ahead and get into the emails. So real quick, these are the folks that purchased yesterday: Richard Penfold, Tommy Bankston, Susie Price, Nathan Forrest, Daniel Krensis, Julie Bennett, and Spencer Clark. And they each bought a product that is $600. It actually retails for $1,000, and we had a Cyber Monday sale yesterday where we did a 40% off. And so again, all of these invested $600 with us on that product, and that's where the $4,200 came from. So let's go ahead and get to the emails. And here we go. So before I share the email with you, I want to point out who these emails were going to. So they weren't going to prospects. They were actually going to customers of ours inside the Home Business Academy, which is a company that I co-founded about 4 years ago. And so we actually have three main core products. We've got a funnel builder product that's $25 a month. We've got what's called HBA Premium, which is our premium product. That's $125 a month and pays $100 residuals. And then our third product is this product that we sold in these emails, and that product is called the Financial Literacy Academy, and it's a one-time purchase product. And the reason I wanted to explain that is because it's important to understand that one of the most important things ever in marketing is your audience, right? And understanding who you're communicating with, who you're sending a promotion to, right? And then also, of course, we hear a lot in marketing that, buyers are good lists of people to send information and offers to. And so this would definitely qualify as a buyer's list that we sent this information to. So what we did is we got a list of all of the people in our company who own our premium product, that's the $125 monthly, but who did not purchase our third product, which is the Financial Literacy Academy. So the audience we are sending this to is that specific audience, okay? So here's the emails. I want to go through these here real quick. I'm going to blow this up so hopefully you can see it a little bit more clearly. So the subject line. So one of the things to keep in mind whenever you write a subject line, two things actually, two principles. Anthony Robbins says that human beings are motivated by two main motivators, hope of gain and fear of loss. So whenever we're writing headlines, I think two great things to keep in mind always are benefits and pain points, right? Frank Kern says a great headline formula is how to get yay without boo, right? So what's the yay and what's the boo? Yay is the benefits. It's the hope of gain. It's the good things that we want in our lives. And the boo are the problems or the pain points or the frustrations or the things that make us angry. That's the boo, right? So whenever we write a headline, we want to think about those two things. And so what we did on this headline is we use the person's first name. So this was a test email I sent to myself. And of course, Dale Carnegie in How to Win Friends and Influence People says that a person's first name is the sweetest sound in all of language to hear a person's first name. So I think that's also a great thing to use in a subject line. So that's what we did. We said, Paul, here's a $400 coupon. So what is that? That's a benefit, right? For Cyber Insanity Blowout Special today only. So there are a couple other things working in this headline. We've got benefit, we've got first name, and then we came up with just a clever sounding, kind of like almost a little bit hypey phrase like cyber insanity blowout, right? And then I put two little asterisks around this insanity because we want to catch people's attention. And then also, remember how I said fear of loss is another motivator, today only. So we were only running this promotion for one day. It was for Cyber Monday. And of course, this is a really great principle to keep in mind whenever you're making an offer. If you can have a deadline, that produces sales like nothing else almost. When there's a deadline where to get the deal you have to take action before the clock hits zero, and it's because it works on that fear of loss principle, right? So anyway, we put that in the headline. So here's the email. Hey Paul, for Cyber Monday, we wanted to give you a special discount code that can save you $400 off on our Financial Literacy Academy product for today only, right? So it's a benefit. Mike and I just recorded this video to tell you all about it. So here's another thing to keep in mind. You can sell through email and email alone. That does work. However, one thing that also works and helps a ton is if you can use video in your communication, and that's what we did. Is Mike, my business partner, and I, he redirected the video, so he took down the video. But anyway, we made this quick page with our funnel builder tool where we had a video of Mike and I basically just talking to the audience that I just mentioned. So the audience was premium members who hadn't purchased our FLA product. So he said, hey, you're getting this email and this video. Thank you so much for clicking the link in the email and opening up this video. Again, we're talking to them. What did they just do? We're talking to them. You're getting this email because you're owner of our premium product. And by the way, thank you so much. And then we just explained what we were doing. And in that video, we talked about the product. We talked about the vision for the product. We shared a couple testimonials. Like Mike shared a couple testimonials, real life testimonials of how that product has helped him and added dollars to his bank account. I shared my testimonial of how that information really is responsible for almost all the financial freedom my wife and I enjoy and my family enjoys. So we shared a testimonial, and then we just explained the promotion, and then we said, if you want to take action on this, click the button below and apply the coupon code. So the reason that a video is important, going back to talking about just email versus video, here's how I see it, is if you can share video, one of the things that you can do in video is you can really gain trust and rapport in a much more effective manner than you can in just an email, right? There was a study I remember early on in my network marketing career. One of my mentors always used to cite this study from UCLA where they said, they did this study on communication, and what they found was that 96% of communication was nonverbal and only 4% of communication is verbal. So verbal, of course, are the words we use. So if you're sending an email and all you have is words, then you're relying on the words alone to do the job of the communication. But if that study is accurate, which, I don't know if it's 100% accurate on the percentages, but what I do know is that when you can communicate through words and also voice and inflection of voice and passion and heart and facial expression, when you can add those elements into your communication, what happens is you can really supercharge your ability to have people see into your eyes and trust you. And, that's a big part of sales, by the way, is trust. If you trust someone and you trust that what they're telling you to do can help you get the benefit that you want, and you want that benefit, is there any reason in the world why you wouldn't pull out your credit card and make a purchase decision? There's not, right? That's really what it boils down to, is do you trust the person, and do you trust what they're telling you, that the buying decision they're inviting you to make can help you get to where you want to go? If all of those elements are in play, then a purchase decision becomes much easier. And so video can help us do that. It can help us gain trust. And so in this email, of course, link to the video. So then we went on, and this is the next thing we did. We told a story, right? We hear this all the time. Facts tell and stories sell. So here's the story. And by the way, in our company, just a little bit of background, you must own a product in order to earn a commission when your customers buy that product. So this specific audience, they were members or are members of our premium product, which means when their members purchase premium, they earn the commission from that. But then if their member purchased the Financial Literacy Academy and they didn't own it, they would miss that commission, right? So here's the story, and this is a true story. This last Friday, we got an email from one of our affiliates telling us that he didn't think his customers were going to buy the Financial Literacy Academy. The reason he emailed us is because he did have a customer buy, and he came super close to losing the $400 commission. So again, this is a story that is communicating fear of loss, right? It's a true story, but it's sharing the experience of someone else and showing how he almost lost that $400 commission because he didn't own the product. So then we go on. This is why we decided to give you and all premium members who don't currently have FLA a chance to get it today for a whopping 40% discount. Not only does this product produce great upfront commissions, it also contains So now what we're doing is we're giving them some more reasons as to why they might want to consider purchasing this product, right? It produces great upfront commissions. That's a benefit. It contains information that's crucial to helping us fulfill our mission and helping people reach total freedom. That's a benefit. And then this video explains more. Link to the video. Oh, and also there's a super exciting update coming to this product in Q1 of next year, and odds are most people are going to want what's coming. So what are we doing here? This right here is what's called curiosity, right? So what I want them to do is I want them to click on this link and watch the video. In the video, we talked about something that is coming Q1 of next year. So rather than just tell them what's coming in the email, if I hint to it, they have to click the link to watch the video. And again, that's part of what we want them to do, right? So curiosity is a great driving principle to use in your sales communication. And then why not lock it in now and save yourself $400 from having to pay the full $1,000 price later? Again, fear of loss. If they don't take action, it's going to cost them much more if they decide to buy it later. And benefit, save $400. Please watch this video all the way through. That's call to action with the link. And let us know if you have any questions. We're here to help. Paul, Mike, and HBA Freedom Crusaders worldwide. So we sent this email out, and we started getting sales coming in. People pulling out their credit card and making the decision to buy this product, $600 a purchase. And then last night I was playing the guitar with my son Camden, and we were having a good time. And I was thinking to myself, one thing that's my experience has shown is always good to do if you've got a deadline approaching is to send out another reminder email, letting people know, scarcity, fear of loss, the clock is ticking, there's only 3 hours left, there's only 2 hours left. So that's a really good thing to do. And then also mixed in with that is another thing you can do in your emails that really help with sales. And I'll share that with you when I get to this second email. But I'm sitting there playing the guitar and I'm thinking, I just want to relax. And then my phone beeps and it's my business partner, Mike, and he says, hey, are we going to send out another email? And I was like, we probably should, but I don't really feel like it. And he's like, well, we could just go ahead and duplicate the one that we had and, send it out. It's like, all right, we probably should send out another email. Good idea. So I set my guitar on the couch and went over to my computer and we typed up this email. So this is the second email we sent out, and sure enough, send this email out, more sales start coming through, people buying that product. So here it is, last call, Paul, or person's first name, only a few hours left. So we got scarcity, fear of loss, benefit, this $400 discount expires, fear of loss, right? All in the headline. So then we get into the email. It says, hey, so-and-so, just wanted to send you one last email to let you know that your $400 discount coupon for the Financial Literacy Academy Cyber Monday blowout sale is expiring in just a few hours at midnight Pacific Standard Time. And then I put the link to the video. And here's another thing to think about when you're doing promotions to videos. I used to think that, well, I don't want to send the same video to the same people because what if they already saw it? I don't want to tell them to watch it again. But what I've learned with online marketing and email marketing is sometimes it takes a lot to encourage someone to actually watch a video. You can send the same video to the same people 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and you'll still get people later on in the sending that will finally watch that video. So don't feel like you have to record a different presentation every time you send out an email, especially if the presentation's good. And also don't feel like, and also don't feel bad about inviting people to watch the video once, twice, 3, over and over again, because the people who've already seen it, they'll just not watch it. And the people who haven't seen it, they'll watch it, which is what you want to do, right? And so here's the other thing that is huge in sales promotions. If you can show social proof in your communication. And I always do this when we're having a promotion with a deadline, always. And it works, right? So what do you want to do? Well, earlier that day, we had people buy the product. So we want to recognize the people that bought the product. So what I do in this email, huge shout out to Daniel, Julie Bennett, Tommy Bankston, and Spencer Clark, who watched the video and took action on this amazing deal. They got access. So again, what you're doing is this great book called Influence. If you haven't read Influence by Dr. Robert Cialdini, encourage you to read it. He talks about these, he calls them shortcuts to influence. And in that book, he mentions how people are so busy and we have so many decisions to make all the time that if we had to sit and think about every decision we had to make, we would never get anything done. And so what he says in the book is that because of that fact, we've developed shortcuts to decision making that help us make decisions more quickly. And these shortcuts often operate at an unconscious level. So one of the triggers of influence he talks about in that book is social proof. And social proof just simply says, when we have a decision to make, one of the things we naturally do is we look around and we say, what's everyone else doing? Is this a good, oh, wow, 3 people are doing it, 5 people are doing it, 10 people are oh, wow, 10 people, 15 people are doing it. Wow, they're all doing it. It must be a good thing to do. I'm going to go ahead and do it. This is a shortcut, right? Now, I'm not saying you should always operate this way, because I like to think we should all be independent thinkers and we should make decisions based on reason and what's good for us, not just what everyone else is doing. So that's my advice to you. And while I'm giving you that advice, I'm also recognizing that all of us operate this way. When you go to Amazon and you're looking at a product, what's one of the first things you do? I mean, this is me. I scroll down to the reviews. I want to see what's everyone else doing, what's everyone else saying, almost more so than I would read the product description. So even though I know this is a shortcut, I know marketers use it to help me make decisions, it still works on me and it still works on you because it's a fundamental fact of human nature. So you want to use this in your communications. Huge shout out to so-and-so and so-and-so who took action. So now I'm going to go back into benefits. They got access. So they took action. They made the decision that we're wanting the person reading this email to make. And now we go back into benefit. They got access to this life-changing product, save 40% off full price, and position themselves to earn the most commissions possible with our affiliate program. So benefit, 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 benefit. Wahoo! Right? Excitement. I love using excitement in my communication. Zig Ziglar says sales is not a thing in the world, but a transference of feeling. So if you can be excited about what you're doing, that will transfer through your communication. And then I also said doing this also ensures they will never miss any commissions when they make sales, and that's the way we like it. So another benefit, also wrapping up fear of loss in there. This video explains it all. Another link to the video, or you can read the email below that we sent out earlier today. All the best, and then sign it. Mike Paul and HBA Freedom Crusaders Worldwide. And then I just included the email from before. So that's it. Those 2 emails sent to the right audience produced $4,200 in sales in one day. And we weren't even planning on doing this promotion. I just got on the phone with Mike when I was in the gym yesterday, and we started talking. And Mike's like, hey, should we do a Cyber Monday sale? And started talking about different things we could do. And so he said, yeah, let's do it. So I came back to my office. We recorded the video, wrote the emails, and some people in our community made commissions, which is really awesome because that means Mike and I get to use our skills and our talents to help people who are working with us make money. And that's what we're all about, right? Freedom through principle-centered leadership. So those are the 2 emails. I really hope you got some value from those tips so far. And then the last thing that I wanted to share with you before I let you go, if you've got a little bit of time, is I wanted to share a story with you that really touched my heart yesterday. And this story has to do with personal development. So if you have followed me at all, one of the things you might know is that I've been doing a daily mastermind. I hosted it myself for a lot of years, and now we've got other hosts that are helping with it every day for over a decade now. It's called the Think and Grow Rich Mastermind call, and you can go to growrichaudios.com. We post a replay here every day for free. You don't have to buy anything. You can listen in, you can plug in. And as part of what we do on this mastermind is every month we have a negative character attribute, because we're interested in personal development. We want to get better. We want to model those character attributes that are worthy of emulation. And if we have character flaws, we want to try to, limit those and get rid of them so we can become better people. Jim Rohn used to say, success is not what you pursue. Success is what you attract by the person you've become. It's not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. So it became very evident to me quite some time ago that if I really wanted to help people make money, have success, be financially free, we absolutely had to make personal development a focus, right? So that we all can grow. So this is why we do this mastermind every day. And as a part of this mastermind, in the free download section, we actually have a list of negative character attributes that I got from Napoleon Hill in his last book, Grow Rich with Peace of Mind. And so every month we pick one of these negative character attributes. So this month is greed, right? December 2020, the negative character attribute is greed. And I think it is so interesting that the negative character attribute for December is greed, because December, for a lot of people throughout the world, is the one month of the year where we slow down and we start to think about people around us. It's the month of gift giving. It's the month of maybe like empathy, you could say, and just thinking about the blessings that you have and thinking about people who might need help, and, just asking yourself, what are things I might be able to do to reach outside of myself and give. And so that's the opposite of greed, right? And so last night, my wife read me and my sons this story, and I really want to read this to you. This story really touched us last night. So I want to go through this. So it might take just a little bit of time, but it will be worth it, I promise. I think it can touch you today and really help you get into the holiday season as it has helped me and my family. So here's the story. Pa never had much compassion for the lazy or those who squandered their means and then never had enough for the necessities. But for those who were genuinely in need, his heart was as big as all outdoors. It was from him that I learned that greatest joy in life comes from giving, not from receiving. It was Christmas Eve, 1881. I was 15 years old and feeling like the world had caved in on me because there just hadn't been enough money to buy me the rifle that I'd wanted so badly that year for Christmas. We did the chores early that night for some reason. I just figured Pa wanted a little extra time so we could read the Bible. After supper was over, I took my boots off and stretched out in front of the fireplace waiting for Pa to get down the old Bible. I was still feeling sorry for myself, and to be honest, I wasn't in much of a mood to read the scriptures. But Pa didn't get the Bible. Instead, he bundled up again and went outside. I could figure it out because we had already done all the chores. I couldn't figure it out because we'd already done all the chores. I didn't worry about it long, though. I was too busy wallowing in self-pity. Soon, Pa came back in. It was a cold, clear night, and there was ice in his beard. "Come on, Matt," he said. "Bundle up. Good. It's cold out tonight." I was really upset then. Not only was I not getting the rifle for Christmas, but now Pa was dragging me out in the cold, and for no earthly reason that I could see. We'd already done all the chores, and I couldn't think of anything else that needed doing, especially not on a night like this. But I knew Pa was not very patient at dragging one's feet when he told them to do something. So I got up, put my boots back on, and got my cap, coat, and mittens. Ma gave me a mysterious smile as I opened the door to leave the house. Something was up, but I didn't know what. Outside, I became even more dismayed. There in front of the house was the work team, already hitched to the big sled. Whatever it was we were going to do wasn't going to be short or quick, I could tell. We never hitched up the sled unless we were going to haul a big load. Pa was up on the seat, reins in hand. I reluctantly climbed up beside him. The cold was already biting at me, and I wasn't happy. When I was on, Pa pulled the sled around the house and stopped in front of the woodshed. He got off, and I followed. I think we'll put on the high sideboards, he said. Here, help me. The high sideboards? It had been a bigger job than I wanted to do with just the low sideboards on, but whatever it was we were going to do would be a lot bigger with the high sideboards on. So I'm imagining a wagon, with like the sides of the wagon, and they're building it up higher because they got more stuff to put in, right? So he says, after we had exchanged the sideboards, Pa went into the woodshed and came out with an armload of wood, the wood I'd spent all summer hauling down from the mountain and all fall sawing into blocks and splitting. What was he doing? Finally, I said something. Pa, I asked, what are you doing? You been by the widow Jensen's lately, he asked. The widow Jensen lived about 2 miles down the road. Her husband had died a year or so before and left her with 3 children, the oldest being 8. Sure, I'd been by, but so what? Yeah, I said. Why? I rode by just today, Pa said. Little Jakey was out digging around in the woodpile trying to find a few chips. They're out of wood, Matt. That was all he said. He then turned and went back into the shed for another armload of wood. I followed him. We loaded the sled so high that I began to wonder if the horses would be able to pull it. Finally, Pa called a halt to our loading and went to the smokehouse, where he took down a big ham and side of bacon. He handed them to me and told me to put them in the sled and wait. When he returned, he was carrying a sack of flour over his right shoulder and a smaller sack of something in his left hand. What's in the little sack? I asked. Shoes. They're out of shoes. Little Jakey had gunny sacks wrapped around his feet when he was out in the wood pile this morning. I got the children a little candy too. It just wouldn't be Christmas without a little candy. We rode the 2 miles to Widow Jensen's pretty much in silence. I tried to think through what Pa was doing. We didn't have much by worldly standards. Of course, we did have a big wood pile, though most of what was left now was still in the form of logs that I would have to saw into blocks and split before we could use it. We also had meat and flour, so we could spare that, but I knew we didn't have any money, so why was Pa buying them shoes and candy? Really, why was he doing any of this? Widow Jensen had closer neighbors than us. It shouldn't have been our concern. We came in from the blind side of the Jensen house, unloaded the wood as quietly as possible, and took the meat and flour and shoes around to the front door. We knocked. The door opened a crack, and a timid voice said, "Who is it?" "Lucas Miles, ma'am, and my son Matt. Could we come in for a bit?" Widow Jensen opened the door and let us in. She had a blanket wrapped around her shoulders. The children were wrapped in another and were sitting in front of the fireplace by a very small fire that hardly gave off any heat at all. Widow Jensen fumbled with a match and finally lit the lamp. "We brought you a few things, ma'am," Pa said, and set down the sack of flour. I put the meat on the table. Then Pa handed her the sack that had the shoes in it. She opened it hesitantly and took the shoes out, one pair at a time. There was a pair for her and one for each of the children. Sturdy shoes, the best, shoes that would last. I watched her carefully. She bit her lower lip to keep it from trembling, and then tears filled her eyes and started running down her cheeks. She looked up at Pa like she wanted to say something, but it wouldn't come out. "We brought a load of wood too, ma'am," Pa said. He turned to me and said, "Matt, go bring in enough to last a while. Let's get that fire up to size and heat this place up." I wasn't the same person when I went back out to bring in the wood. I had a big lump in my throat. And as much as I hate to admit it, there were tears in my eyes too. In my mind, I kept seeing those 3 kids huddled around the fireplace and their mother standing there with tears running down her cheeks with so much gratitude in her heart that she couldn't speak. My heart swelled within me, and a joy that I'd never known before filled my soul. I had given at Christmas many times before, but never when it had made so much difference. I could see we were literally saving the lives of these people. I soon had the fire blazing and everyone's spirits soared. The kids started giggling when Pa handed them each a piece of candy, and Widow Jensen looked on with a smile that probably hadn't crossed her face in a long time. She finally turned to us. "God bless you," she said. "I know the Lord has sent you. The children and I have been praying that he would send one of his angels to spare us." In spite of myself, the lump returned to my throat, and the tears welled up in my eyes again. I never thought of Pa in those exact terms before, but after Widow Jensen mentioned it, I could see that it was probably true. I was sure that a better man than Pa had never walked the earth. I started remembering all the times he had gone out of his way for Ma and me and many others. The list seemed endless as I thought on it. Pa insisted that everyone try on the shoes before we left. I was amazed when they all fit and wondered how he had known what sizes to get. Then I guessed that if he was on an errand for the Lord would make sure he got the right sizes. Tears were running down Widow Jensen's face again when we stood up to leave. Pa took each of the kids in his big arms and gave them a hug. They clung to him and didn't want us to go. I could see that they missed their Pa, and I was glad that I still had mine. At the door, Pa turned to Widow Jensen and said, "The missus wanted me to invite you and the children over for Christmas dinner tomorrow. The turkey will be more than the three of us can eat, and a man can get cantankerous if he has to eat turkey for too many meals. We'll be by to get you about 11. It'll be nice to have some little ones around again. Matt here hasn't been little for quite a spell." Widow Jensen nodded and said, "Thank you, Brother Miles. May the Lord bless you. I know for certain that he will." Out on the sled, I felt a warmth that came from deep within, and I didn't even notice the cold. When we had gone a ways, Pa turned to me and said, "Matt, I want you to know something. Your Ma and me have been tucking a little money away here and there all year so we could buy that rifle for you, but we didn't have quite enough. Then yesterday, a man who owed me a little money from years back came by to make things square. Your Ma and me were real excited, thinking that we could get you that rifle, and I started into town this morning to do just that. But on the way, I saw little Jakey out scratching in the woodpile with his feet wrapped in those gunny sacks, and I knew what I had to do. Son, I spent the money for shoes and a little candy for those children. I hope you understand." I understood, and my eyes became wet with tears again. I understood very well, and I was so glad Pa had done it. Now the rifle seemed so very low on my list of priorities. Pa had given me a lot more. He had given me the look on Widow Jensen's face and the radiant smiles of her 3 children. For the rest of my life, whenever I saw any of the Jensens or split a block of wood, I remembered, and remembering brought back that same joy I felt riding home beside Pa that night. Pa had given me much more than a rifle that night. He had given me the best Christmas of my life. So, isn't that an amazing story? And when my wife read that to my kids and I looked around at the end, and my wife was teary-eyed, and all 4 of my boys, which is rare, it's really rare that they can actually like sit and pay attention and be interested in the story. And last night, as my wife read this story, all 4 of them were just staring at my wife, and they were touched in their hearts, from this story. And I asked my wife, after the kids went to bed, well, is that a true story? Because we saw it on Facebook, and it was shared by some pastor had shared it. And that's always a question we ask, right? Is that a true story? And then today, before the video, I pulled it up on the internet, and it was on this Sporting Classics, website. And so I'm sure it's a story that's been passed around on Facebook. I think it had like 500,000 shares or whatever. But here's the point that I want to make is, what if it's not an actual literal story? The feelings that it gives us, and the stirring inside, and the inspiration that it gives us, that inspires us to want to be better people, to want to treat people in a good way, inspires us to want to reach out and help those around us. Is that not a true thing, right? So whether the story is literally true or not, I do think the story expresses a great truth. And I also think it's interesting how we can read stories like this, and most of us, we hear stories like this, and something inside of us stirs. To me, that's a little sign from God, from infinite intelligence, from the Lord, however you want to put it, that these are good things for us to do while we're here on this earth. And so I just wanted to pass that along. Again, the negative character attribute for this month is greed. So the opposite of greed is giving, and here we are, Christmas holiday, great time to be thinking about people other than ourselves. So hopefully this story inspired you, and thanks for listening all the way through. Thanks for being on my email list or for following me on social media. Thanks for having a vision of freedom and personal development in your heart. I appreciate you, and I'm really excited about what I can bring to your life to help you on your road to freedom. So that's it. Have a great day. Let me know your thoughts below if you want to weigh in, and let me know if you appreciated this content or if any of it touched you, if those email tips helped you. And also, if you have any questions for me, I'd really like to begin a Ask Me Anything series where maybe once a week when I do videos like this, I can address any questions you might have for any marketing that you might be doing. And if you want to send me those questions, just, grab one of the emails that I sent to you and hit reply and just write your email in the question, and I'll do the best that I can to get those in upcoming content. So that's it. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care, and bye for now.